Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. We from check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey, look, don't worry, we gon' be okay. Hey, look, why? Cause we gon' make them pay. From
the bottom, ain't no problem. We gonna make
What's
them pay.
going
Hey,
down, gambling world? It's your
what's
boy
the
Coach
deal?
representing Brothers of Bets, and I'm with my partner in crime, Mr. Marley Bets. Marley, what's going down?
What's going down, Coach? Good to hear from you again, my brother.
Yeah, I'm about to be over here sounding like I'm on that drink and everything for a little
All
bit,
right.
so I'm
You on the
on
good
heavy
man.
meds.
You on the prescribed meds. That's that good though.
I'm on the heavy meds. I feel like I done pulled up a deuce. You feel me? And and we chilling, dog. We chilling. How's everything, man? I heard you was on fire.
Man, yeah,
Lately,
last week
man.
we killed last week, man. I did I can't remember my overall record, but I know I went back to back like 4-1, 4-1, then 5-0. I was like fucking 12-1 like a week last week. But since you've been gone, it's been kind of hectic, trying to keep the show operational one deep. So I haven't been able to just give give all the plays I wanted to give. I gotta get better at posting our picks on Twitter and shit when we don't do videos and whatnot. So, because we had one of the commenters in the DMs, I can't think of his name, but we was talking Sunday, I believe. I gave that boy 2 plays and we didn't get to post nothing. We hit the Knicks and the Knicks money line Sunday and Hawks money line. So yeah, man, I've been all right, man. I can't complain. The account is money in the account that I ain't deposit. So that's always a good thing. What's good, Clipper?
All right, man. Well, we back in this, and
Clipper
for
wanted to go
everybody
long,
that
dog.
Hova, he will be joining us, soon. He'll be jumping in and out, you know what I'm saying? So that's how you did last week? 11-4?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was at the time. So really it should probably be more like 13 to 14-4.
Okay.
Because I didn't do like videos the last couple of days during the week. I just made plays.
Well, it's all good. Well, let's jump right into it, man. Get it started. Get my vocals back running. Going through
Yeah.
all these analytics and stuff. Everybody know I really don't do these NBAs, but
Hey,
it's about
playoffs
that
coming up.
time. Exactly. So you gotta put them cigs down, boy. Let's jump right into it, though. The Chicago Bears are taking on the Boston Celtics today at 7:40 Eastern Standard Time. But if you're in the great nation of Texas, it's 6:40. This line opened up in favor of Boston -6. The over/under was at 224.5. Right now, it's still in favor of Boston -6. You can actually catch it at a couple of spots at -5.5. Some spots got it at -6.5 if you're trying to lean it towards the underdog. The total's at 213.5 right now. As a consensus, the Chicago Bears 23-33 on the year, 29-26-1 against the spread, while the Boston Celtics are 31-26 on the year, 29-28 against the spread, and they actually have been hot.
Yes, they have.
For the last couple of games they've been in. Get to these actual factuals. The Bulls, they are 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games. The over said 5 out of the last 7. They are 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games. 1-8 against the spread in the last 9 games. 1-8 straight up in the last 9 games against Boston. 2-7 straight up in the last 9 games on the road. 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing on the road against Boston. 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games this season. The under sit 14 out of the last 20 when going against Eastern Conference opponents, and the under sit 7 out of the last 9. Injury reports: Levine, he is out indefinitely. He's quarantining right now. While for the Celtics, says Kemba Walker's out. Foreigner, he's out. Smart is probable. Brown is upgraded to probable. Tatum's probable, but all those guys most likely going to be playing. And
Right.
Williams is out tonight as well for the Bulls. Oh, my bad. I didn't even go over Boston's actual factors. My bad. A little rusty, but bear with me.
You good?
Boston, they are 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games. The overs hit 4 out of the last 5. They're 6-0 straight up in the last 6. The unders hit 10 out of the last 14. They're 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games at home. 5-0 against the spread in the last 5 games when playing against the Bulls. 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games this season. 4-2 against the spread in the last 6 games, and the overs hit 4 out of the last 5. And the against a Central Division opponents, and the total's gone over 4 out of the last 5 in games and played in April. Chicago Bulls, Boston Celtics. What you got, Marley?
My bad. My mic was muted. My bad. This is 2 teams I like. 2 teams I've been following. For the most part of the season. Like you said earlier about Boston, man, they've been hot as fuck lately. 8-2 in the last 10. 7-3 ATS overall in the last 10. Only 4-3 at home, but 3-0 on the road. But with no Zach LaVine, I just can't do this Bulls team. I took them last time against Cleveland. They last game with no LaVine. I think this is second game out, if I'm mistaken. But Cleveland, that was an easy victory. 106, 96, 10. 10-point victory. Pretty easy for Chicago. But before that, they was on like a 5-game losing streak. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-game losing streak. Twice against Memphis, against Orlando, against Minnesota. I mean, like, as much as I do like this Bull team, I hope they can sneak into the playoffs. But for me, easy choice. I'm on Boston minus the 6.5. This is a bet that I already placed earlier. Just too much Jason Tatum, too much Jaylen Brown. That's probably the best duo in the East. Probably behind Embiid and Simmons as far as duos. Obviously, I'm not counting the Knicks because that's a trio. But it's definitely one of the best duos on the East. Top 5 probably duo in the league. And I think they should just walk away with this game. Especially with no LaVine. They're just gonna have to depend on Vucevic. And I think that's just too much. And Boston still got to fight. They're in the playoffs, but everything's still jumbled up, and they not having the season that everybody predicted them to have. They're 31-26, which is still good, but ATS they're only 29-28. So it's only a game off. But I like them to cover tonight. So I took Boston minus the 6.5. That's my play.
Boy, you been playing with your nose, boy.
Boy, stop. Stop it. Never. 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 That's outside allergy. It's allergy season. Don't do that. Don't do that.
So the line is, so you got it at 6.5. Right now the line is at 6.
Let me check the line. I got the lines right here. When I wrote it, when I put those lines in, it was fresh off you, Razor. That's recent lines. Maybe I just said 6.5. And I'm
so
just
it's 6 right now. So are you still going?
Yeah, so it's 6. So that's better. Yeah, of course. Hell yeah. Give it to me. I don't even see it on you guys no more. They took that hoe down.
For our peoples, for our day ones, we like to call them. Can y'all do us a favor and check Twitter if you can and let us know the injury updates for this game? I like Boston in this situation. What's his name? Kerr and Curry. They both made a good point that I really haven't just really realized. I was always told don't bet on Boston or bet against them.
Right.
But
I've been riding with them.
But they said something that really kind of stuck with me, and they said like for Tatum, the game has definitely slowed down for him. And when the game slows down for an individual, and that's in any sport, you could definitely play at a higher level than everybody else, and a lot of times you can boost your peers to play at a high level as well. With the Bulls, they were kind of hot for a little bit, got a little streaky, and then they definitely started falling off. But with LaVine out, I definitely like the Celtics to cover this -6. I'm right there with you. I like this play. I really like this play as well. I'm gonna ride with you. Celtics -6 for the people. And that's the first game of the day, so that's definitely going to start it off. Like now, for me,
Yeah.
you know, when it comes to definitely gambling on the NBA, because I don't like gambling on the NBA because
Right.
these motherfuckers be out partying and doing all stupid shit,
Yeah.
throughout the week. I like to limit my plays to at least two plays, three at the most. But this would definitely be one of my plays, official plays, for this week. So I'm like that with
Yeah.
you. Bulls -6 for the dub. Let's get to the next game. We got the Warriors still on the road. They've been hot actually as well. They're taking
All
on
right.
the
All right.
76ers. This is going to be a good game.
I
Sit out
think
and
so.
watch.
I agree. I agree with you. I think so.
This line,
Entertaining game, if anything.
oh yeah, this line opened up in favor of. Are these lines right?
-9? Yes, that line is correct. Oh, you know what? The line might have changed.
Yeah,
Let
that
me check
definitely.
you, Adrian.
Well,
But
because right
that's how
now,
it was. That's how it was when I just put the lines in like an hour ago, bro. 30, 40 minutes ago.
okay.
Whenever I called you earlier, I had just finished putting the lines in.
Because what I'm
So
seeing right now, according to VegasInsider.com, the line opened up as a consensus Philly -6. The total was at 227.5. And right now
see,
it's still -6 in favor of Philly. The
you
total's at
wager don't have it
225.
up anymore.
So something's going down.
So something is changing. Injury or I don't know. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean I'm looking on All Shark. I see -6, but I'm on UWager right now too, and I don't see the line at all. And I know they had it earlier because I made a play on it. Let me double check my pending bets though. You know what? Maybe they didn't have a play on it because I don't have a play. I don't have a play on that game. I mean, I have a play, but I don't have a pending bet on it because I didn't
Okay.
see it. So yeah, something's
Okay.
going on with that line.
But when we run through these, let me run through these actual factuals and stuff, and then I'll try to jump on Twitter real quick
Yeah.
to see what's going
Or
on.
we
But
can
we
come
got
back.
the
You want to come back to that game?
no, we can run it through. It shouldn't take that long. Golden State Warriors. They are 28-29 on the year, 27-30 against the spread, while the Philadelphia Eagles, 76ers, they are 39-17 on the year, and 30-23-3 against the spread. Actual factuals, real quick. Golden State, they are 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games, 3-9 against the spread in the last 12 games, 12-3 straight up in the last 15 games against Philly. 3-9 against the spread in the last 12 games against Philly. Excuse me. 2-6 against the spread in the last 8 games on the road. 6-1 straight up in the last 7 games when playing on the road against Philly. They're 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games. 2-5 straight up in the last 7 games when going against the Eastern Conference. And the unders hit 4. The unders hit 6 out of the last 9 when playing against the Atlantic Division. 76ers, they are the unders hit 6 out of the last 7. They're 5-1 straight up in the last 6 games. The unders hit 13 out of the last 19 against Golden State. They're 1-4, 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games at home. 1-6 straight up in the last 7 games when playing at home against Golden State. The unders hit 4 out of the last 5 this season. The total has hit 5 out of the last 5 when playing against a Western Conference opponent. They're 4-1 straight up in the last 5 against a Pacific Division and opponent, and they're 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games when playing as a favorite. Golden State also Curry's questionable for today.
That's why the line
and
going up and down.
and Toscano and Anderson, he is out, and Wiseman, he's out for the season. So hey y'all, again, bear with me. I haven't been doing any NBA videos, so all of this is still kind of new to me. For Philly, Howard, he is questionable for today's game. Hill, he is doubtful. Tobias Harris, he is doubtful for today's game. Lil Curry, he is probable for today's game, and Ben Simmons is questionable. Boston, Golden State had a great game, played a great game over the weekend against Boston. They ended up letting Boston go on a run and lost 119-114. But beforehand, they beat Cleveland, OKC, Denver, and Houston. Teams that they're supposed to beat. Besides that Denver game. While Philly, they are on a 4-game winning streak, beating OKC, Dallas, Brooklyn, and their last game on the 16th, they beat the Clippers 106-103. Marley, what you got on this?
So this for me, this is dependent upon Curry. Curry plays. I take the Warriors in the points. I don't think they win. Philly is 22-5 at home on the season. 39-17 overall, but 22-5. They don't lose at home very often. I don't expect this Warrior team to go into Philly and win. If Steph Curry plays, they can't cover. We saw what he did in Boston. Put up 40. He's been putting up 40 like the last, I don't know how many games in a row, but he hit like 10 threes in Boston, I think. But it's too much. No Wiseman, no center to stop Embiid. So I'm -6 with Philly. That's going to be my official play if we can get a line for it. Because even though I take that back, I was saying depending on if Curry, even if Curry plays, he got hurt in that Boston game. He twisted his ankle, if I'm not believing. He finished the game, but anybody that plays sports, coach, you played, I played, you twist an ankle, you might can finish that game that day, but that morning and that next day, that swelling kick in, you know what I'm saying? That shit is gonna be fucked up. So he might can get a shot and push it, but I just think it's too much Philly, dog. Too much Philly, too much Embiid. No answer for him, no Wiseman, and I just don't think they got enough out there. Philly not losing at home. So my play would be Philly if you can get a line for it.
George Hill is playing tonight. Kelly Oubre, he is returning tonight as well for Golden State. But other than that, I really haven't seen anything via Twitter that suggests why the line is like that. Unless, you just probably read it wrong. Not sure, but that is definitely what's going on, man. So I'm gonna stay off of this game. I don't have a play though. If I did, I do like Golden State, but man, there's no telling right now what's going on.
If it's at like 9 or something, Tashay. Damn, you good? My brother. I'm saying if it was at it's not 9, it's gonna be 6. So I still don't think even if Curry plays that 6, it's too much.
So what's your official play?
Philly, how you brother for me? So I'm doing my show.
Philly -6.
Philly -6, yes, sir.
All right,
all right.
All right, cool. Let's get on to the next game here. Next game, we got the Rockets. I know, right? I'm not even going to entertain that game, so I'm ready to move on. And let's get to Houston's best sports team right now. The Houston Rockets taking on the Miami Heat. This line opened up in favor of the Heat -10, and the total was at 216.5. Right now, that line is at -5 in favor of Miami still, and the total is at 215.5. Get to these actual factuals. The Rockets, they are 15-42 on the year, 19-38 against the spread, while the Heat, they are a 29-28, barely over 500, 24-32-1 against the spread. Actual factuals. Houston, they are 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. The over 6 out of the last 6. They're 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games. 1-4 against the spread last 5 games against Miami. 2-5 straight up in the last 17 games on the road. The unders hit 5 out of the last 6 against Miami on the road. The overs hit 5 out of the last 5 this season. They're 2-17 against straight up in the last 19 games against Eastern Conference opponents. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games against a Southeast Division opponent. Get to the Miami Heat. The Heat, they're 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games. The total has gone over 6 out of the last 9. The total has gone under 4 out of the last 5 when going against Houston. It's also gone over 5 out of the last 6 when playing at home. They understate 5 out of the last 6 when playing at home against Houston. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games against a Western Conference opponent. 2-5 against the spread in the last 7 games in the month of April. 12-5 straight up in the last 17 games when played on a Monday, and 5-2 straight up in the last 7 games when playing as a favorite. Injury reports: Eric Gordon, he's out. Augustine is out. Wall is probable for tonight's game. House Jr. is out for today's game as well, and Brown is out for the Rockets as well. Iguodala, he's questionable. Dragic is questionable. Butler is questionable. Victor, he's out indefinitely. Bayou, Bam Bayou, he is out for today's game as well. And Tyler Hero is questionable.
Bayou out?
Yep. That's why that line's jumped down so much from 10 to 5.
It's not even that line's not on UWager no more neither.
Yep.
It's
that
not
news just probably just broke. Houston, last game they played was on the 18th and yesterday, and they beat the Orlando Magic 114-110. While the Miami Heat, they beat Brooklyn 109-107 yesterday as well. Houston Rockets versus the Miami Heat. What you got, Marley?
Hey, what's up, Jalen? I see you. Just checking out some of the comments real quick. Hebrew Price, bet live Warriors 10. Yeah, okay. I actually don't have a play on this game because it's not available, and I don't think the line's been available all day. It wasn't earlier when I looked. And with all the injury, it's just too much uncertainty, bro. Like, I don't know who the fuck is playing for Miami. I want to take Miami. They're the better team. Houston got a win last week. You know, I don't know how many more of those we gonna fucking get. So, I definitely can't take Houston. Miami's still alive for the playoff. I mean, they're already in based on seeding, but they still got to fight because all those games close. And they just got a last second buzzer beater by Bam against the Nets their last time out. But even with that being said, no Bam. You said Tyler Hero is day to day, I think, or is he not playing?
He's questionable, but the organization has showed some concerns because they're thinking the fame is getting to him a little quickly than expected. You know,
Tyler, I can see that. They expected it was big expectations for Tyler this year, especially after the way he played in the playoffs. So, I mean, obviously, I don't know him personally, or nor do I keep up with him, you know, social media and all that shit. So,
right.
But you know, he like fucking 19, 20, bro. He young as fuck. So I definitely can see fame and influence getting to his head, especially in a place like Miami. Like the nightlife, crazy. So he could be. I don't even think he old enough to drink. So, but just I mean, he's in him, Butler, Bam. Like it's just too many question marks. I don't know who's playing. If you say Bam's not playing,
he is out.
Yeah, I can't do no Bam. So for me, this is a stay away, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I don't trust the Rockets, and too many injuries with Miami. No Butler, no Hero, no Bam. I don't know how they even gonna play together. I can't. I'm not putting my money on this game.
Okay. Yeah, well, I'm right there with you. I don't have a play on this game. Sorry, folks. There's too much going on, but the Rockets do suck. So, if anything, if I were to lean, I'd probably just take the Heat money line. But the Rockets, they do suck. They
Or I'll take the under. The under might not be a bad play because the Heat play defense, but the niggas that play defense might not be playing. That's what I'm saying. This is a complete stay away from me.
Man, the Rockets suck.
They do. I can't argue with that point. I'm not going to. But shit, I don't know who's playing, bro. I don't know who's playing for Miami.
Man, yeah, Rockets suck. Let's get on to the next. Let's get on to the next. The headline game is the heavyweight bout tonight. Now we got the Phoenix Suns taking on the Milwaukee Bucks. This line opened up in favor of the Bucks -3. The total is at 234.5. Right now, that line is at -2.5 in favor of the Bucks, and the total's at -234. So it only went down 0.5 point. Phoenix Suns, the hottest team in the nation, in the league. They are 40-16 on the year, 35-21 against the spread. While the Bucks, they are 35-21 on the year, 25-31 against the spread. Let's get to these actual factors. The Suns, they're 2-4 against the spread in the last 6 games. They oversee 8 out of the last 11. They are 11-2 straight up in the last 13 games, 5-1 against the spread last 6 games against Milwaukee, 4-1 straight up in the last 5 games against Milwaukee, 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games on the road. Man, the others hit 5 out of the last 6 when playing on the road against Milwaukee, 8-2 straight up in the last 10 games this season, 12-6 against the spread in the last 18 games against an Eastern Conference opponent. And the total has gone over 4 out of the last 5 against an opponent in the Central Division. Milwaukee, the total's gone over 13 out of the last 20. They are 13-7 straight up in the last 20 games, 0-5 against the spread in the last 5 games. At home, the total has gone under 5 out of the last 6 when playing against Phoenix. The overs hit 4 out of the last 5 when playing against the Western Conference opponents. They're 14-6 straight up in the last 20 games against an opponent in the Pacific Division. 10-5 straight up in the last 15 games played in April. 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 games played on a Monday. Injury reports: Nader is out for today's game against Milwaukee, and Johnson is probable. While Milwaukee Denvinicio, I don't know if I said that right. He is questionable for tonight's game. Sound like a goddamn fragrance line. Phoenix, they are coming off an L against San Antonio, 111-85, and that was on the 17th. That was on Saturday. While the Bucks are coming off a loss against Memphis, 128-115 on Saturday as well. So both teams had some rest to think about that L that they took. So Bucks versus the Suns. What you got, Marley? Man, these drugs
I do not.
messed up.
I'm big on Phoenix, and I really don't like Milwaukee that much, honestly. And I've been riding with Phoenix for a while. That's, like you said, they're one of the hottest teams in the NBA. 8-2 in the last 10, 7-1 at home, 1-1 on the road, 7-1 as a favorite, 1-1 as a dog. But they're 0-2 ATS on the road out of that last 10. I think this game means a little bit more to Phoenix. I know Phoenix is the younger team, probably got a little bit more to prove, But I think Milwaukee needs to show, at least to me anyway, that they can beat contenders in the West, or just contenders, period. Me personally, I still don't buy this team. There's no knock against Milwaukee. They're a good team, but until they get to the conference finals, I really don't give a shit about nothing they do. Like, Giannis got to get to the conference finals to me. He really should get to the finals, but I don't think he's going to make it with the Brooklyn this year. That being said, as much as I do like Phoenix, this is a tough game, man. It's probably going to come down to the wire. I took Milwaukee money line at home. I just think this game means a little bit more to them, and they got a little bit more to prove. At least in my eyes, they got more to prove. I don't know necessarily if that's how they feel or the league feels, but big game. They got to show that they can beat contenders. I don't think nobody cares about their mediocre games against anybody else. Like, even the first round of the playoffs, to me, if like Memphis don't get to the, I keep saying Memphis, but Milwaukee, the Bucks don't get to at least the conference finals, it's a failure to me. So I expect them to come out and play tonight, though. They've been playing good ball. They won their last 3 at home. They dropped the egg against Memphis, their last game on the road. But I don't know if boys been paying attention, man. Memphis is a really, really good team, and they play defense. I think they lead the league in steals, if I'm not mistaken, and they're like top 5 with points in the paint. So Memphis is a really good team. Don't nobody sleep on them. But I'm on the Bucks. I took the money line here. I just think like I think they're going to give me the effort and everything I need this game, because I think it's a bigger game for them personally. Phoenix, on the other hand, I mean, they won 8 out of the last 10. They've been playing good ball. I think even if they drop a game, it's kind of like, all right, we was on the road. We're a young team. We dropped the game, but let's pick it back up next week. It's not that I don't think they care, but I just figure like their business is more when the playoffs. Let's get here when the playoffs start and see what we gonna do. Like I think they're secure in their spot. they may or may not catch the Jazz. I just don't know. I don't know if I get the motivation from Phoenix just because it's a big game. I feel like Milwaukee got something to prove where Phoenix kind of coasting right now. But I expect a good game. I think it could go either way, but I'm on the Bucks money line right here, even though Phoenix is probably, like you said, the hottest team in the league right now. But they are 0-2 ATS on the road in those 10. So I'm gonna ride with the Bucks at home.
Okay. Man, I have not had any success betting against the Suns this year.
Yeah, they're
did.
what are they overall? 40-16. So yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so I've actually been I started riding with them lately.
Yeah, they
It's
be
definitely
catching.
in my opinion, bro. This is just my opinion. The Bucks have just kind of seemed like pretenders to me.
I agree. I feel the same way.
I just don't think they just that legit, like what everybody say. I feel as though
I feel
they're
the
not
same way.
one dimensional. Everybody shoot behind the perimeter, and then let the Greek freak
Giannis dominate the paint.
yeah, and try to he really in my opinion, again, I'm getting caught back up on the NBA, but it just seems like he's best when in transition, and
Oh, of
when he
course.
has the
Yeah,
ball, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
so,
I mean, their game plan in the half court is just spread the floor, maybe do pick and roll. Giannis go dunk on somebody if you can't kick it out to a shooter if they double team. I mean, that's pretty much they sets. But
I'm gonna go with
Giannis ain't got.
history. I'm gonna ride with history right here, based on the stats and the numbers, and I'm gonna take the Suns with the
Yeah, I'm not
points.
mad at you, man. I think the Suns are the better team. I just think I think Milwaukee gets up to play today, where Phoenix might not be as
Now,
motivated. But
now,
I agree
now
with
that's
everything you said.
now that's hard to say when they got a person like
Chris
CP3.
Paul. Yeah, of course.
And I was the main cat a couple of years ago saying, man, he's a fake leader. like you know what I'm saying? Like saying like he ain't all that and stuff like that. But I think he's around a bunch that really take everything that he says. And I think I just think the Bucks they just some pretenders to me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm kind of with you, Hebrew. I like to do live betting in the NBA, especially when these lines are low. I like to catch the team that I really like before the game starts, add a nice little value. But in this case, I would just jump on the Suns right here. So yeah, I'm definitely with the Suns with the points plus 2.5, and I do think they will win. I just don't think I'm just not sold on this Bucks team, man. That's just my
No,
opinion.
bro, I completely 100% agree with you. I'm not neither. Um, if I just take the game based off what the numbers is telling me, then I definitely go Suns. I mean, I think the Suns are the better team. I like the Suns. They're definitely the hotter team. But I just think tonight is one of those games where um, I just think the Bucks are motivated to get the job done tonight. Um,
Don't they got Aaron Gordon?
no, you thinking Denver.
Oh, okay.
You thinking Denver. You thinking Denver. But like I said, bro, I just really feel like
Then I feel even better now because I'm sitting there thinking like, well, they do got going on there to help out, but nah, I feel even more better now. So my official play for that game, one of two official plays that I've given out is the Suns plus 2.5. So I'm gonna ride with the stacks, the actual factuals, and hopefully history's on my side. All right, let's get to the next game. We're almost time for tip off. Oh, excuse me. Let's get to the Spurs taking on the Pacers. This line opened up in favor of San Antonio -1. The totals opened up at 231.5. Right now, that line is -2, still in the favor of San Antonio, and the line has jumped up a couple of points to 233. Actual factuals, real quick. San Antonio Spurs, they're 27-28 on the year. 29-26 against the spread, while the Pacers are 26-30 on the year and 23-33 against the spread. The Spurs, they're 4-2 against the spread last 6 games. The over 7-9 last 10. They're 5-12 against straight up in the 17 games. 1-8 against the spread in the last 9 games against Indiana. 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games against Indiana. The over 4 out of the last 5 games on the road. San Antonio, there's 9-2 straight up in the last 11 games when playing on the road against Indiana. 3-7 straight up in the last 10 games this season. And total has gone over 5 out of the last 5 against the Eastern Conference opponent. And 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 against an opponent in the Central Division. Indiana, the total's gone over 4 out of the last 5. Excuse me, I read this wrong. But yeah, no, I had it right. For Indiana, the total's gone over 4 out of the last 5 games. The total's gone over 4 out of the last 5 against San Antonio. They're 1-11 against the spread in the last 12 games at home. 2-9 straight up in the last 11 games when playing at home against San Antonio. 6-1 against the spread in the last 7 games against an opponent in the Western Conference, and 10-2 straight up in the last 12 games against an opponent in the Southwest Division. And the total has gone over 4 out of the last 5 when playing in a.
Yo, you still there? I don't know what happened to the coach, people, but I'm gonna go ahead and take over. So this Indiana team, man, I'm just so
Mike, check.
disappointed. Yeah, you
Mike,
good,
check.
coach? I get you. You back?
My bad. That boy Graylo was calling me. Gambling G. He probably calling me about. I guess he's about that. My bad. Where did I leave off at? What was the last thing I heard? Because I was going. Oh, injury reports.
Yeah.
For Indiana, Jay Lamb is questionable. McDermott is questionable. Turner is questionable for today's game as well, and Sabonis is questionable. So Philly, I mean, they are coming off a victory Saturday against the San Antonio, against the Phoenix Suns, and Indy. They're coming off a loss yesterday, so they're in the back-to-backs. They lost to Atlanta, 129-117. What you got for this one, Marley?
Yeah, I don't got much. Disappointed in Indy this season. 26-30. They should have been a much better team based off their talent roster anyway. Like you said, coming off a back-to-back, they're 9-16 at home. And they're coming off a back-to-back. No Miles Turner, no McDermott. Sabonis and Lamb is questionable, so we don't even know if they're playing. Even though I'm not high on San Antonio, I don't think they're I don't even think they're in the playoff. I think they're in contention. But they're 15-10 on the road, so they're not bad. But I just did the Spurs money line mainly because the Pacers just don't have Miles Turner. Sabonis is questionable. He might not play. No McDermott. Just probably Brogdon and LeVert, which probably could be enough, but I just don't think so. Not with the way they've been playing. So, and they're coming off a back-to-back. After traveling to Atlanta, they were at Atlanta, so they have to travel back and play a game tonight. So I'm on the Spurs here, money line.
Okay, Spurs money line, official play.
Yeah, Spurs official play, yes sir.
All right. I am going to pass on this game. I am good, and wish you guys the best of luck. Let's get on to our next game. The Grizzlies taking on. And this is one of the things you just talking about, taking on Denver. This line opened up in favor of Denver, -4.5, and the total's at 228. Right now, that line is still in favor of Denver, but it's at -7.5, and the total's at 226.5 right now. Give me 1 second. Let me pull this game information up. Gambling, Graylo messed up my whole process. Yeah. Memphis, they are 29-26 on the year, 34-20-1 against the spread, while the Nuggets are 36-20 on the year, 28-28 against the spread. Actual factuals: Memphis 10-2 against the spread in the last 12 games. The over.
Got another call coming in, Coach.
6-2-1.
Going in and out, Coach. All right, till Coach get back in, I'm gonna pick up on the actual factuals. Memphis 10-2 ATS in their last 12. The total has gone over in 7 of their last 8. They're 7-3 straight up in their last 10. 6-2-1 ATS in their last 9 games against Denver. 1-4 straight up in their last 5 games on the road in Denver. The total has gone over in 4 of their last 5 this season. They're 7-1 ATS in their last 8 against a Western Conference opponent, and 9-2 ATS in their last 11 against an opponent from the Northwest Division. Denver 8-4 ATS in their last 12. 10-2 straight up in their last 12. 7-1 straight up in their last 8 at home. 4-1 straight up in their last 5 when playing at home against Memphis. The total has gone under in 7 of their last 9 against an opponent from the Western Conference. The total also has gone under in 5 of Denver's last 7 against an opponent from the Southwest Division. They're 12-2 straight up in their last 14 games played on a Monday, and 10-1 ATS in their last 11 home games played on a Monday. For me personally, man, I've been telling y'all all for the last couple of weeks, stop sleeping on this Memphis Grizzlies team. As much as I like Denver, I love Denver, especially with the addition of Aaron Gordon, but losing Murray is so big, in my opinion, for this team. I think that takes them out of contention as far as sneaky title contention team, because the Joker has been playing some of the best basketball all year. And he's only one to not miss an injury, depending on what Embiid does. I know they won't give him the MVP, but out of the other MVPs, he's the only one that's been consistent all season without missing any games. Like Jokic has been balling, please believe. However, I'm scared with no Valanciunas as far as Memphis, because he's so tough and means so much to this team. But I took the 7, man. Top 5 in points in the paint and one of the best defensive teams. They play hard night in and night out. They're battling to hang on to, I believe, the 9th spot in the playoffs in the West. Every game matters. They're not taking games off, and they're young. And Ja Morant, bro, fucking beast, balling. 18 points a game. So I took the 7 points. I don't think they win, but I think 7 just a little bit too much without Murray, even though they're missing Valanciunas. And I think that's a big key piece to me. But 7 is just way too much, way too much for me to pass up on, to fade. I don't like Denver covering that against this team. And, they're both on 2 games win streaks. They both have won 3 out of the last 5. But to me, 7 points is just way too much. So I'm on the +7 here with Memphis. Without Valanciunas, I think Ja Morant and the rest of the game, even though they got a couple injuries, I think they can hold steady at 7. I don't think they win, but I think they do cover the 7. So let's keep it going. We only got one game left. You back, Coach. I got you. You back. You want to buzz down the
Yeah. So your official play for that game is Grizzlies +7.
Yeah, even though, like I said, it scares me Valanciunas is out. Almost makes me want to stay off of it. But I think Ja can carry enough to get me within the spread.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a play for that game. I'm definitely gonna stay off of that, but I will probably back you up. I've caught Denver a couple of times. This team has definitely been one of the teams that have cost me some money in the short time I've been gambling on Denver throughout the college basketball season and since it's been over. So with them losing Murray, I definitely, and with Grizzlies kind of hot right.
Yep.
Okay, everybody's calling me. I'm getting alarms for fucking to take my meds and all kind of shit. So bear with me,
man. Last game, dog. I'm gonna run through it.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, that last game, I took the Lakers +7. If you just want to, you know what I'm saying.
Well, yeah. Well, let's run through it real quick because I want to look at the actual factors before I give out my play on this. But this line opened up in
Okay.
favor of Utah -5.5, and the total's at 214.5. Right now, that line's sitting at -7 in favor of Utah, and the total's at +214 still. Actual factuals, real quick. The Utah Jazz 42-15 against on the year, 33-23-1 against the spread. While the Lakers, they are 35-22 on the year and 28-29 against the spread. Get to these actual factuals real quick. Utah, they are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games, 13-4 straight up in the 17 games, 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 games. Against the Lakers, they're 1-5 straight up in the last 6 games against the Lakers. 1-6 against the spread in the last 7 games on the road. 1-5 against the spread in the last 6 games when playing on the road against the Lakers. 4-2 straight up in the last 6 games this season. 6-3 straight up in the last 9 games against an opponent in the Western Conference. And the total's gone over 4 of the last 5 when playing against a Pacific Division opponent. For the Lakers, they're 5-2 against the spread on the year. They're 5-2 against the spread in the last 7 games. The over 7. The over 4 out of the last 6 against Utah. The under 6 out of the last 8 when playing at home. They're 5-1 against the spread in the last 6 games when playing at home against the Utah. The over 4 out of the last 5 this season for the Lakers. They're 4-1 against the spread in the last 5 against an opponent in the Northwest Division. 10-5 straight up in the last 15 games on a Monday. And they are 2-11 straight up in the last 13 games when playing as an underdog. Injury reports. Conley is probable for today's game. Favors is questionable. Gobert is probable. Of course, Mitchell is out, as well as Azubuike. And I can't say this. And I can't say this name. Ilyasova. He is doubtful for today's game. While, of course, you already know for the Lakers, the King, he is out. Anthony Davis is out. I thought Davis was supposed to be making his return this week.
I thought I heard that too, but obviously it's not this game.
Damn. And Dunley is out as well. I'm watching ESPN right now, and fucking Kevin Durant is out again, bro. Shit.
How long?
I don't know, but he says he's out definitely for tomorrow. The Lakers, these two teams did play Saturday, and the Lakers won 127-115. Marley, what you got?
Yeah, I took the Lakers money line that game, and I'm taking a 7 here. And I mainly took the Lakers the last game for the same reason I'm taking them this game. Injuries, no Mitchell. Although Gobert and Conley didn't play that Saturday, and they're both expected to play this game, or at least they're probable. I don't know if both of them are going to play. But I just think 7 is too much. If long as Drummond plays and Schroeder plays, I think they can keep it within 7. This is definitely a revenge game for the Jazz, but still no Mitchell. I don't know if Conley and Gobert will be enough to blow them out or at least get it over the 7. I think they definitely win off the revenge factor. But then you got to think, too, coming off the revenge factor, the Lakers know they can beat this team, or at least they feel like they can because they just beat them. So I just think 7 is too much. I think the Jazz probably do win the game. I'm thinking 4-point, 5-point, maybe even closer than that. But so I just took the points with the Lakers just because there's too many injuries, really on both sides, but definitely on the Jazz. I think Mitchell is very, very important. But with Conley and Gobert playing, they should win. But if Favors doesn't play, that's the bench. So I just think 7. I just think 7 is just too much, honestly, just too much. So I took the points.
Can you hear me? Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Yeah, you're good. I got you.
Okay, all right. My motherfucking alarm went off. I'm right there with you, man. I just think the depth on the Lakers is much greater than the Utah Jazz, and losing Mitchell is huge, man. That's huge.
Really? Yeah, of course.
This team is definitely not the same without him. Sure. They're definitely lucky that they're in the position that they're at when they had him. How long is he out for? Is he going to make the playoffs, or is he done for the year?
Yeah, because his X-rays were negative I'm not sure. Let me see if I can figure it out real quick. I'm not exactly sure how long he's out for, but I do know the X-rays were negative, so he should be back for the playoffs. Let me see. Give me like 2 seconds. I'm pulling up the news on him. He is out for. He'll be reevaluated in 1 week. It said he'll be sidelined for at least 3 games. And then he'll get reevaluated. So I think this is his second game missing, if I'm not mistaken. So probably next game, he'll probably be back next week, bro. Within the next 2 weeks, he'll be back. He'll be back well in time for the playoffs. So I think we got like a month left until the playoffs start, if I'm not mistaken. We're in April. The playoffs start June, I believe. I mean May, sometime in May. So because we only got like a few weeks left in the season.
Okay.
That's why I say
Well,
it's kind of good you jumping on right now because I know you normally don't bet NBA to the playoffs start. So this will give you time to kind of get a feel for who doing what right before the playoffs start. Because that first round is the 1-8s. You know what I'm saying? You get kind of good. You get good value on those 4 or 5s and shit. That 3-6. So the first couple of games before the Vegas gets to figure out what the line should be. Because the playoffs like it started with new season. They don't know how 3 and 4 and 3 and 6 and 4 and 5 going to play in the playoffs. So them first couple games, it's good to have a feel because we only got a couple weeks left, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm gonna back you up on that one. I just think this Lakers team is definitely better. With Draymond, he's definitely Draymond.
I
Drummond,
was going to say Drummond. Yeah, I got you.
Drummond. I think he's starting to settle into the culture and with the team. Kuzma, he needs to definitely wake up, but they still got Harold and a couple of. I just think this bench is definitely deeper than Utah's. I like the Lakers +7, and I think they're gonna win outright. So, but just to be safe with it, I like the Lakers +7. So, but kind of
Hate
do
to
a
see
quick little recap for Marley's bets here. He has the Celtics -6,
Mm-hmm.
76ers -6. Well, that 76ers is at -5 right now. So, do you want to jump on that? Do you like that 5 better than that 6 for 76ers?
Of course.
All right, and then you got Milwaukee Bucks Milwaukee Bucks money line. Excuse me. You like the Spurs money line, the Grizzlies +7, and the Lakers +7. As for myself, keeping it short and simple, I like the Celtics -6. I like the Suns +2.5, and I definitely like the Lakers +7. And so, and while we're on the topics, open mic, they're looking at Anthony Davis is nearing return from strained calf, return full contact practice after sitting out since. So they're talking about him right now on ESPN.
Anthony Davis.
So, yeah. And let's see, they're talking about. So so Mitchell's out with an ankle sprain, MRI clean. He'll miss the second game with tonight. So yeah, so they're about to cover this game too. So yeah, I'm right there with you, man. I like we kind of the only game we didn't see eye to eye on is that Bucks, but you like your money line. I like him +2.5. So we definitely.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you with the Suns. Like if the Suns win, I wouldn't be surprised, bro. Like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I do think the Suns are the better team, honestly. I just think the Bucks might be up to play today. That's all. So honestly, I agree with everything you said about the game. I just think you can't go with the numbers every time. Sometimes shit goes against the numbers. So this is just one of those games. I figure. It's not like I'm like, oh, the Bucks are the better team. They're definitely going to win. No, I think the Suns can go in there and win easily. I just think the Bucks get up to play because I think the narrative on the Bucks is like you say. We both feel the same way about the Bucks. I think they're pretenders, and until they prove that they're not, that's the stigma on them. And the only way to prove that they're not is to beat the better teams in the league. So I think this is just more important to the Bucks than it is to the Suns.
Right.
Like I think the Suns get up to play the Lakers with LeBron, the Nets with KD and everybody, Philly with Embiid. I don't think they get up the same way with the Bucks and Giannis.
Yeah, well,
that's just how I feel.
We gonna see, man. I just think they pretenders, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying. I agree with you. I think they are. I think they are, but I just don't know if Phoenix is going to get up to play them as much as they're going to get up to play Phoenix. That's
Whatchamacallit, man. We got a CP3. He gonna have to motivate him,
right.
man. You know,
Yeah, and he
I
should.
see. I like this. I like this Suns team, man. I definitely like this Suns
I do.
team.
I agree. I do. I don't think they're contenders in the conference, but I think that's Clippers or LA. But I do like this Phoenix team. I agree. I think they're like a year or two away. I think they should have made a trade for which probably they couldn't have, but maybe in the offseason they should. They should go get Karl Anthony Towns because I think his contract is almost up, or maybe he got a year left. I would have traded that boy for Aiden and ASAP. Aiden and whoever else y'all want, except for Booker, Paul, and Narkis.
Yeah, I don't even think. I don't even think he wants to be in Minnesota anymore.
I don't either. That's why I say you make the trade.
Like, I
If
think
you
he's
can get him,
done with
because then you talking
that.
Booker, CP3, and Towns. Oh, we got something now. We can go up against anybody.
You gonna make him get rid of old boy, the
Aiden?
center?
Yeah, hell yeah, take him. I mean, you got to, because that's the only way Minnesota go take it. They not go take it for nobody else. So yeah, I'll give them that. I'll give them a number one pick if they want one, and somebody off my bench, except like Crowder or not Oubre. They got somebody else that contributes off the bench, and Narkic, the other big white dude. But yeah, first round pick, second round pick, which one? Yeah, and take Aiden. Give me Karl Anthony Towns. Fucking right. Hell yeah. What? CP3, Karl Anthony Towns, and Booker? We cooking for sure. We can beat. I don't know if they beat the Lakers, but we can beat the Lakers.
Well, you know the clock's running out for CP3. He probably got another 3 years in him, so he got to get it in.
No, I don't think I think CP3 straight now though. Like I think going to Phoenix cemented his legacy, even if he don't win a title. Because you got to look at his career, man. Every team this man has been on, he has improved the team dramatically. Like everywhere he goes.
Imagine if he went. Imagine if he goes to Lakers.
Imagine if they wouldn't have stopped that trade for him going to the Lakers when they had Kobe.
That's what I mean. Imagine if he probably still would have been in LA right now.
Man, him and Kobe would have got some more rings, dog, for sure. With that team, with them two niggas, with that mentality, man, they probably killing people in the league, dog. Instead, he wound up in the Clippers and still improved the Clippers. I think it was more on Blake Griffin than it was Chris Paul. Only thing about Chris Paul, man, he be wearing on everywhere he go, he get into it with teammates, though. He be too hard.
Well, see, and I think this is why this is probably the best fit because they're all young and they don't have egos right now. You know what I'm saying?
And that's probably why it worked in OKC. Probably the same reason why it worked when he was in OKC.
Exactly.
Everybody was young, no egos. They go listen to what he got to say. That's why I say I think being in Phoenix cemented his legacy for sure. Like even if he don't win a title, I think you still got to say like CP3 is probably one of the best, at least in our generation for sure, one of the best point guards that we got to watch play. I don't want to say in NBA history because you know it's a lot of people that are older than us that we didn't necessarily see play, but in my generation and who I saw play, like that guy, even though he didn't win a title, I think you gotta. I mean, he's in my opinion, he's certainly a Hall of Famer for sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right, big dog. Was there anything you want to throw out there?
Nah, that's it, man. I got a pool tournament I got to get to. I mean, a pool match.
Couple of things I want to say. Hopefully, Dogecoin gets to $1 tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
And then so we can, so that can get the things moving. Other than that, I want to say America.
Hey, hold up. I do got one thing to say on that Dogecoin. To the motherfucking moon. Nigga.
To the moon. I want to say this. I want to say this though. America, the world is watching right now. Whatever does happen this week, shit. Just, hey man, let's just be smart about everything. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what the outcome is, because the whole world's watching right now, and hopefully those people who are in that room, they do the right thing, based on the evidence, not on feelings.
I'm not gonna say nothing on that until we get
Ain't
the
go
verdict.
that
Yeah,
high.
I'm gonna reserve all emotions and feelings simply because I don't know what's gonna happen. So, because I can say one thing and that might not happen. I can try to say this thing and that might not happen. So I'm just gonna say everybody remain calm until the
Hey
verdict
man,
is happening. And when that verdict comes, regardless of what side you're on, um, just remember how you feeling right now is a feeling, and don't act off the
off
feeling.
of feelings, exactly.
Act off logic, because the way you feel at that moment may not be how you feel in a couple hours, a couple days, a couple weeks. So
Or
regardless of what action you take,
or after you smoke that good, and then
right?
later you like, man, fuck, why'd
Yeah.
I do
So
that?
regardless of what side you on and how you feel, just act on logic and not emotion. Understand that emotions change, emotions come, emotions go. It's our energy, and try to act on logic, and we gonna see what happens. And I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna wait for the verdict to come out. I'm not gonna try to predict or guess what happened based off history and based off what we know what tends to happen. So I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right, well, hey, all the gamblers around the world, let's get this money, and we will see our boys tomorrow. We are
Hold on, hold on,
out.
hold on, hold on, hold on. One thing I gotta say, the hashtag before I go, always hashtag. Let's be Vegas.
Let's go.
That's it.
Uh, 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 uh. Check it out. Look, we from the bottom, ain't no problems, we gon' make a way. Got no coach on the field, but we making plays. Hey,